Hello everyone and welcome back to the Impossible Creatures Replays channel. Here today I'm Davo and I'm joined by...
MarmeeLad, and today we are going to watch 3 games played by us two on the Avalanche Cup. That is also happening right now, so follow it.
Yes, that's right. A few weeks ago maybe, I think, the first match was cast. And the second match was between us two. For scheduling reasons, we were unable to coordinate a 2v2, so we instead proceeded to play a 1v1. And so together we are going to talk about what we were doing and all the amazing decisions that led to the results that you will see play out on your screen. I've already started the first game.
Thoughts.
That's right.
Sharing our thoughts about it.
Build lightning rods. In case you've missed it, one of the best players in the scene at the moment, Grey Guy, recently created a video on his own channel giving you a macro guide for most maps in Impossible Creatures. So please do check that out if you want to know how the game works. I chose in this game to not build lightning rods first because Sandbar is a very unique map, and one of the things that it has, one of its characteristics, is a 4-coal start. And typically my default build is to just max out my coal piles and then start building all my rods. It's worth mentioning that I won Davo in the Cyan. I won the coin toss, so this was my map pick, which I chose because I designed a pure swimmer army for this competition, and I wanted to use it, and this seemed like the best map for it. So, Mari, what were your thoughts going into this map? Had you played this map before?
So I played it one time, and I'm gonna say you had a very interesting decision about making 0 rods at the start, because, well, you see, you have the 4-coal on your base, and like only 3 coals on the expansions, on every expansion, and also there is like a big gap from where you can build your workshop together.
Yes.
And therefore I prefer getting like a rod or 2, because the earlier you build them, the better.
Yeah,
throughout the game.
It's just free electricity.
Yeah, right. But like the workshops aren't paying for themselves like right instantly.
That's
also
true.
Because the henchman gonna swim back at the lower speed.
Yes. I've actually calculated this. This is the only map in the game that I know of where getting henchman speed is actually a true economic upgrade. If you do the math and your workshop is placed optimally close to the coal, the henchman speed upgrade does not offer any benefit as long as the mining line is saturated. Whereas here, there is still some idle time because of the swimming time. So you can see I have 6 henchmen, but there actually is time when the coal is not being worked, and that's because they swim slower. Which is one of the unique things about this map.
You either like put 3 henchmen per coal pile, what I did in my expansion, and just go for earlier generators.
Yes.
Ready, boss.
Yeah, getting both generators early is can be really powerful on this map. So I chose to build out units first. So my level 2 was slower because of my lack of rods. But I was pretty confident that my combat power would be strong because I'm bringing the classic 2 Neil to this to this map. One of the infamous pure swimmer units, and so I felt pretty strongly that I would be able to win any water skirmishes. We'll see if that actually happens, because yeah, I can tell you that my battle plan didn't necessarily survive contact with the enemy, but you can see I'm pressuring this generator instead of building it myself, and using these camouflaged keen sense units to scout out potential expansions that Marmee might have made.
So the thing about like the pure swimmers is that they're pretty cheap and like spammable, but
yes,
the one disadvantage you get is you cannot get the finishing blow on your opponent. You can't like go on his base, deny his mining, deny his like electricity production, or any sort of like air or land production whatsoever.
Yes, this is true.
Unless you get artillery.
Yes, it's a major component of my army, but later on, not at level 2. This army is not designed to kill at level 2. It's really this army is really designed to hopefully gain map control and then just have a bigger economy, get to late levels, and then use late level pure swimmers to win with overwhelming artillery and other things.
So basically playing like a jerk.
Yeah, a bit. Well, I don't have any real-time strategy game background. This is the only real-time strategy game I've ever played, and so I don't have very much confidence in my ability to actually micro properly and things like that. So my main strategy for winning games is simply to try and design better units and then just math problem my way to victory. So you can see already the superpower of being able to walk on land is paying huge dividends. I do have a land creature, which is why I built my creature chamber here. And I'm using Henchio as well, and these 2 sound beams to hopefully fend off this attack. And while I get to level 3. But meanwhile, many things are happening. Marmee is already level 3. Oh, these are nice.
Yeah, they're from the Whitey Hooten army. I just picked it.
Yeah. So yes, the default armies in Tellurian quite good, and then you can see my artillery plan, which is definitely going to survive this, or not.
100%.
Yeah, it's still alive, I promise.
It's just haunting this area.
Yes, the ghost of a single hammerhead bombardier beetle. So it definitely did not swim away. Those things are super slow. So yeah, so you can see that in this situation, no one has the mid generators, and Marmee does have, I think, a bigger economy at the moment. This is staffed. This is staffed. I think I've forgotten to build my 4th rod. Yeah, I forgot to build my 4th rod in this game for a long time. So it is here, but I remember forgetting for a long time.
I'd say the economy is pretty much even at this point because you had for a long time the middle generator and the bottom lab generator.
Yeah, I do have.
Therefore, you get more units.
I do have a lot more units, but they do have the weakness of not being able to walk on land. And then you're harassing my expansion here. These are very, very strong, but also quite expensive for pure swimmers. And they don't survive 4 versus 1, unfortunately. And they're out of range of my...
16 damage is it's like level 4 creature damage.
Oh yeah, this thing is very insane. It also, yeah, it's camouflage keen sense. They're very, very strong. Like I said, math problems. For example, these Lemming Belugas are max power level 3s for pure swimmers. So they're very beefy. They have decent damage.
They're so cheap.
They're very cheap, and they have overpop. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm not managing my production super well because I've got a bunch being built back here, and I'm not managing to defend this as well as I'd like. So I do eventually clear out this raid over here, I think, but not having any coal coming from there, not having a fully upgraded generator, not really having any pressure in mid is causing me to struggle a bit.
Have you gotten like the clinic upgrades at this point? Because as far as I remember, I did get the electrical grid and the yokes.
So I clearly do not have yoke yet. I usually prioritize grid first, so I might have grid. But yeah, those did come pretty late. Even though I built the clinic, I didn't necessarily do the upgrades in this particular game very quickly.
I love the animation with the buckets when the henchman swings for the buckets.
Yeah. I love when you zoom in and you see the henchmen that have floaties. Also, I never knew this, but they disappear when they punch. That's quite funny. And
there is no proper punch animation when they're in water, so they just like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ just standing on the water.
Yeah, they just develop superpowers. Henchmen are the best. So yeah, so you can see I'm trickling units. It's not been particularly good. And at this point, Marmee's been very undisturbed all the way back here, up here. I've had to deal with raids up here, and my Cole is suffering from that. So yeah, so far the best version of my most successful state was even game state. So I was feeling a bit pressured at this point as well because just knowing that you have a counter pick army and not being able to pull it off is a bit stressful. So I don't know how are you feeling at this point in the game? Do you remember?
Well, I was feeling like a massive free because I'm gonna deny some of your like mining because I made this bunch of the flies.
Yeah.
Well, from what I can say, you have like the better building placement because as I can see, you like hiding your sound beams behind the rods. You made some sort of wall with the amplifiers and the clinic.
Yes, that was very intentional. They have a lot of health and they take up a lot of room. So
They're
I
like
did feel
even
it
the
necessary.
units pathing, they're just gonna run around it to get to the sound beams.
Yeah, yeah. I love how he very intentionally targets this sound beam and doesn't really work out.
You're very mad at it.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he is getting hit.
Don't yell
So.
at me.
But yeah, this would have been a powerful raid if you'd been here. And now these units are stuck on the outside of the circle. So one thing that I was a bit worried about when planning this this map was the fact that Sandbar as a map there's so much water, but it's also you can't go from one side to the other. So if you have units stuck on the wrong side of the water, they're really going to take a while to get back to where you need them. And you can see that I just don't have anything close enough to actually deal with this army. And then the snowy lobsters were the knockout blow. I wasn't ready for them with anti-air towers, and so at that point I just don't really have anything left except these rat cuttlefish, and they're not gonna last very long with level 3 melee units in the base. So
That's unfortunate.
yeah.
Look at their like tail go like a stair like
Yeah.
used to. So what I can say, you see like the top for right expansion is where like 4-coil expansion.
Yes.
So guess it was made with an intention that the players would compete for it, but we never did
No.
because it's so far away.
It is really far away. That is like everything on this map feels very far away. And your labs are relatively close to each other, so you have to defend your lab. And yeah, I don't know exactly what I was waiting for at this point. I think we might have.
This map should have been called Desolation.
Yeah, maybe. So.
You know how small resources you get.
Yeah, and there we go. I think I just wanted to let you kill my lab while we discussed the next game. So.
I mean, we also were like at the voice channel where we were playing this, so
That is true. Yes.
we were just talking to each other.
Yes, we played this game very much for fun, which is the whole point of the tournament. It's not Critical Clash of the World Cup, so we wanted to have fun with it. So because I lost the first map, I got to pick the next map, and so I picked my favorite 1v1 map in the entire game, Cinete. So do you have any comments before we hop in, or should I just get going on the next map?
I want to ask what does Cenote mean?
So I looked it up, and apparently it's actually cenote, and it's just the name of a geological structure. There's a lot in Mexico. I think it's cenote, actually, but yeah, it's like a sinkhole with a lake at the bottom, I think.
It just looks like the last E should be stressed, but alright.
Yeah, cenote. But yeah, in any case, I'm going to load in the map and you can start seeing. So I think this central bit is what would be geologically considered
There's
a
no
cenote
telling
or a
what evil
cenote.
plans our enemies have afoot, but we can put a
And,
stop to them by taking
these-
out their labs.
This is why I love this map. There
So
are
this map is the
so
complete opposite of the last one.
yeah, yes. This is a small, relatively small map, and it has so many generators, and I love generators because they're so much easier to manage than expansions. So, so this is why I've always loved this map, and I've loved it because of the generators. Um, so, have you played this
Hello.
map a lot? What do you think of this map?
I've played this map like thrice, as I recall correctly. So this map, like by its size, gives me face-off vibes,
Yes.
like real face-off vibes. So also many resources, many uh generators, like, guys.
Yep.
But un- like face-off, there isn't a huge gap between your lab and the call.
Yes. Yes,
Ready, boss.
this basically fixes the
Boss.
face-off problem of your initial henchman having to run a marathon to get you your first resources. Um, so I see you filled 2 rods in base before heading out. So typically on this map, I much prefer to take this expansion. I think typically most people would consider this expansion to be the safe expansion. Um, but it has fewer resources, so it has 4 coal piles, whereas this central bit has 6. And I find that if you take your safe expansion, it's much harder to break through this choke point and actually get access to the resources in mid. So I find it's very important to take
Hello.
these first.
It's basically hit or miss taking this expansion because you get like 2 more coal piles, but you're in like danger position.
Yeah, you are more exposed, although I do find that this is a fairly narrow choke, so you can fence this off fairly successfully, um, and just build some
Not the
towers.
case with the range.
Yeah, I mean you can build some towers and it helps. So as you can see, I'm starting to claim generators everywhere I can. Have I started researching level 2? I think I have. Must be because I'm building it. I built uh, my first chambers, and so I find it very important to have keen sense at level 2. So, or every level really. So my keen sense melee and these gazelle chameleons, which are very good. Fast. They're easy to micro. They have camouflage, so you can disengage pretty effectively. Um,
So the hardest thing on this map is to hold the urge of playing super like greedy,
yes.
like I did here. I've taken 4 generators at this point.
Yes. Yeah, so this one is quite exposed.
I have only 2 or 4 army units on my base.
Yeah, you have a few.
Uh,
You have a little bit more
Actually,
than 4, but
quite a few. Like, no, they're weak. They're
yeah.
very weak and cheap.
Yes. Yes, they're definitely weaker than my units. A rare sight of Davo actually microing anything, and he's still gonna die. Um,
Wait,
I
did you like put your coyotes on the stands so they don't engage?
I at one point I did put them on the less aggressive stance. I find it really annoying that creatures spawn on the max aggression stance. I prefer to have them on the second one, but I often forget to do that. So I think at this point I probably did because I don't want them to run too far. Um, and I didn't click on your units to notice how much weaker they are than mine. So um, I was pretty happy that
Well,
I was able to
they're
hold off
size
that push.
2 plus Salamander, which isn't like the biggest range damage stock in
Yes.
the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've started to build my water chamber, which means I'm going 3. Yeah, I'm most of the way to level 3. I'm so I've secured this generator, and I'm preparing to pressure your expansion because I'm expecting that you have something here. Um,
I love how at this point, neither you nor I get, have got like our safe expansion.
yes, yeah, generators are pay off I think much more on this map. Um, you can just convert and oh, I'm missing a henchman here. That's interesting. Um,
Also, after you hit level 3, you get the grid,
yeah.
and you can empower the entire country. You're
Yep.
Hello.
like, yeah, I'm rich.
Yeah, and so yeah, so when I hit level 3, I grabbed 4 or 5 henchmen from my base coal and just built my clinics so that I could go to the expansion. So yeah, you can see I'm starting grid, I'm starting yoke immediately. My poor level 2 army kind of got itself wiped against these sound beams. So I'm gonna have some stuff to deal with pretty soon.
So these bulls caterpillars are like the worst designed unit by me so far because you see they have like little range, little side range,
Uh-huh.
and also like insufficiently small like melee damage.
Mm-hmm.
But they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, the horns is horns and 10 melee damage is an interesting choice. So I don't know what my polar bears are doing here. These are very glassy but high melee damage because they're polar bear dragonflies. It's actually something that I found
Just bad
found quite problematic with this army is not having a strong like a beefy enough front line because ultimately my range is actually quite strong at level 2 and at level 3. Um, these alligator porcupines are classics, and they're classics for a reason because they're really good. And I keep forgetting to actually swap it out for something like a giant pram or something. But I do choose to start building out these really good artillery units. And I think they have a much better matchup. They have seven
We have
artillery
pretty
damage.
interesting engagement.
They have shorter range, but hurting helps as well. Um, so let's see, they're faster as well. Looks like, yeah, 24 can go in water. Um, and the hench shield also paying off.
Hello.
Very powerful thing to have in general. So, although I did have to pull my henchmen off the expansion to actually do that, and now you're doing the same. So you have a lot of
But like
henchmen.
Hello.
That's a
taking a
lot of
look at the medium map, it looks like you're just totally dominating. You get the top generator, you get the bottom
yeah.
generator. You also get in the middle generator, and you are actually pushing me back at this point.
Yeah, and I'm also very close to level 4. I don't think have you started it yet? Yeah, you're still building henchmen. Um,
I just I blew my lap just the moment I heard you finish level 4. Like GG.
yeah, it's
Or not, I don't really remember. I guess it was like a bit later.
yeah,
When you get my safe expansion.
yeah. It probably I think I did get your safe expansion in this game. And yeah, I mean you can see like this is where me not really microing my units is cost me to lose most of my level 3 army, and I'm not super worried because obviously I've hit level 4. But these sound beams have been a big pain. I was pretty happy that I was able to take out this generator. I don't know whether you noticed it. So it was only 2 melee units that managed to do that. Um, but yeah, I started to look for
I did
more
notice
production.
that. I did actually, but I was so frustrated about it that I actually forgot to upgrade my my home generator. It's still on like,
Here it comes.
yeah, I just remembered about it.
Oh man, yeah, that's always really frustrating. And like often those don't necessarily have the largest impact, those sort of uh, decisions or mistakes, but they certainly feel the worst because it feels like the lowest hanging fruit. Um, these are pretty fun. So these are
I designed these units to like, so they have camouflage pack hunter, so just infiltrate into the mineral line, the coal line,
yeah,
and just snipe all the henchmen with them.
yeah, yeah, they're really good. And so I mean, fortunately for me, I have keen sense at all levels, including over here. When I realized that you didn't have your safe expansion, it's like that's free real estate.
Yeah, those guys chilling, just standing here.
Yeah. The one challenge with Senate is the narrowness of these
Hello.
choke points does make it a challenge to actually push forward. and having a large economic and research advantage is very helpful, obviously for pulling that off. So you can see I'm
I just
starting to move
find it
everything
pretty
in,
funny.
and there it is.
Like your units. Yeah, so your units at like my safe expansion just standing there like the gods near the boom gate. Like, yeah, you shall not pass.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah, I definitely set up a few units on those parts of the map to guard my expansion. So, and at this point I was very happy to have taken any games in the tournament. So I basically fulfilled my initial goal, and we got to go to a decider map, which you picked, and that would be
Third one.
Deadlock. So
Yeah, pretty funny map that was included recently in Tellurian.
yes, so I'm gonna load it in, and then I'm gonna pause it so we can talk a little bit about the specifics of this map. So
Yeah, like you, you can already tell by the loading screen that this map is something extraordinary.
yes. So it's first glance it looks like a pretty normal map. Lots of expansions, lots of resources down here. There's opportunities for everything. Oh wait. What's going on here? This is strange. So uh so what actually is happening here?
So this map was done by Kiki, if I recall correctly, and so I guess he decided that the people needed more henchmen was.
Yes. Yes. So funnily enough, I confused this map with one of Logan's recent maps, which is also a snow map, and I was mentally unprepared for what was about to unfold. But I do
After we
remember
take out the
uh,
enemy labs, this island
I
would
do
make for some
remember
nice beachfront
distinctly
property.
hearing the comment, "Oh, I messed up," from this initial decision right
Boss.
here. So why would you say that's a mistake?
So I got some insider information. uh, this map was brought to Kiki in his dream. So he got the idea about it in his dream, like like the periodical table of chemical elements.
Oh yeah, that this map has to have come from a fever dream. I gotta say, looks a lot of like. I
Yeah.
would love
So
to
the
play a
point
late
of
level game on this, but
so like point well why I said that building the lightning rod is an error because you don't really want to spend your money on this. You just want to make more and more henchmen because the lab, like Aura, is pretty big enough. It extends to like halfway through your enemy lab and the coal.
yeah,
So your henchmen just punch as hard. Like they do 20 damage per punch near the
Ready,
lab.
boss.
So
yeah.
to win this
Imagine
engagements
this
is
is
very
melee
essential.
damage. Yeah. So I just thought
Yeah.
I'm gonna build some fences so they have to hurt themselves punching the fence. Not sure how smart this decision was. Um, and here comes the cavalry.
Actually, so units do not prefer to target the gate, like fences.
Mm-hmm.
Nor do they prefer to target any buildings except for sound beams or the anti-air towers.
Right.
And they're more likely to to target even henchmen, even though they're harmless.
Poor henchman.
Uh, Pretty much harmless. So you see, I've engaged into your into your coal piles,
Yeah.
but this is a mistake for a bit because the lab aura didn't extend at this point, so
Oh,
my
okay.
henchmen deal
Boss.
8 damage less per hit.
Interesting. I did
So
not
I
know that.
disengaged.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, see, I don't really know the specifics of henchman combat, so um, my current plan was to actually use this to
Ready, boss.
convert and not have to worry about lab production and build some units, um, which well, I don't think that pays off for me. As you can see, uh, I'm in a desperate situation already. Um, So one interesting thing to note is that the break-even point for henchman production is 6 henchmen on a saturated coal line. So if you have 6 henchmen, you have enough income to constantly produce hench, and you can use the rest of your hench to do something else. The only reason that we generally have more is because, well, it's nice to be able to fully efficiently use all of our coal piles. But yeah, at this point, I know that I've lost, and I'm just trying to distract you as much as possible with running my hench around the map. So yeah, obviously, good games and well played. But would you have any advice for me on henchman combat? Because as you can see, that is sorely lacking on my part.
So at some point, I was like really interested in the hench combat, and like I've researched it, like all bits of it. So let's start with the basics. So henchman does 12 damage per hit and 20 damage against other henchmen near the laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
And also due to like these engine issues, so if henchmen started to attack each other at the same time, at the same like moment, they can kill each other, so there won't be like one winner.
Yes, yes, the
And
simultaneous
that's
punch of
pretty
death.
much it.
That is pretty funny.
Also, henchmen do 8 damage to the structures,
Okay.
as I recall correctly, per hit.
Hello?
So their melee damage is 4, but it's doubled against buildings. You're saying? It looks like it might be.
So like the damage is displayed in the UI is actually damage per second, because it takes a long
Oh,
time
right.
for them to actually
I see.
hit.
Right. So they do 8 damage per hit and 2 hits. Well, 1 hit every other second. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Well, so that is round 1 of the Avalanche Cup concluded, and so after that, Marmee qualified for the sort of next round of the Swiss bracket in the upper side of the bracket, and me and my team moved on to the lower bracket. So do you have any closing thoughts?
So the next game that I that I played and is yet to be casted is against Chihuahua, and a little spoiler, it is gonna be still 1v1.
Yes, this cup has turned into a hybrid competition between teams and individuals. I don't know. Maybe we need to rename this into the Davis Cup of Impossible Creatures or something like that. But in any case, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for coming back and commentating on our games together. And for everyone watching, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and hope to see you again soon on the channel.